Okay, let's dive in. When Taylor Swift recently joined the New Heights Team Dive with Travis and Jason Kelce, it was more than just a chat.
Oh, definitely. It felt like a cultural earthquake, really.
Exactly. A massive signal for, like, the whole entertainment industry. Her interview alone got over 11.7 million views on YouTube.
Which is huge in itself.
Right. And then clips from just that one conversation, they exploded. Over 400 million views across social media.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
And this wasn't just, a big deal for Swifties. It really felt like a watershed moment for the whole deep dive world. It highlighted this dramatic shift. We're talking about how video deep dives, these celebrity-driven viral moments, and even some surprising tech are just fundamentally reshaping how we consume and create audio content.
Fascinating.
And you, our listener, you probably want to understand why video deep dives are blowing up right now. And maybe more importantly, how you can sort of ride this wave.
Yeah, whether you're a creator or just someone who likes to be in the know.
Exactly. So what really defines this new frontier in entertainment? What's going on here?
Well, it's just remarkable how quickly the landscape is transforming, isn't it? Deep dive, I mean, they started as audio, right? Tied to the iPod, which feels almost ancient now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the iPod. Wow.
And now they're rapidly evolving, becoming this video-first medium, and the scale of the change is just staggering.
Yeah.
It's a complete reimagining of what a deep dive even is. So today, yeah, we're going to plunge into what's driving this, the platforms, how creators big and small are adapting.
And making money from it too, right?
Absolutely. Discovering innovative ways to monetize their passion. We'll get into why authenticity seems more vital than ever and how AI is playing this surprisingly nuanced role in it all.
It really does feel like almost overnight, every deep dive I follow has some kind of visual element now. It's not just a feeling, is it? It's a real measurable shift.
It's here.
We've gone from just listening while, walking the dog,
Passive listening, yeah.
to actively watching conversations unfold.
Yeah.
Engaging visually. But why now? And just how big is this transformation, really?
Well, if we look at the bigger trends, the data tells a pretty vivid story. YouTube, for example.
Okay.
It now boasts over 1 billion monthly users actively watching deep dive content.
A billion with a B.
A billion, which, effectively positions it ahead of traditional audio-first platforms like Spotify and Apple, at least for that initial discovery phase.
So discovery is happening on YouTube.
Massively.
Yeah.
And even Spotify itself is aggressively prioritizing video. You see it with the big shows, right? Joe Rogan, Call Her Daddy. They're consistently publishing in video format.
Those are basically TV shows now, in a way.
Kind of. And what's really revealing is that 61% of listeners, people who mainly listen to audio-only deep dives, they're actually discovering their next favorite show through YouTube.
Huh. Even if they then go listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify later.
Exactly. Even if they switch apps later.
Yeah.
So it forces you to ask, right? If the biggest video platform is also the main discovery engine for audio,
Then why wouldn't you be there?
precisely, why wouldn't every creator leverage that? Even something super simple, like putting your audio over a static branded image on YouTube. That alone can dramatically boost your discoverability, reach a whole new audience just by being searchable there.
Okay, so it's not just about people watching the whole thing on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's fundamentally about discoverability, being part of that massive search ecosystem.
That's a huge part of it, yeah.
But beyond just getting found, what's the actual value add for the audience in seeing the hosts or guests? Is it just celebrity gawking, or is there something deeper, like with the Swift example?
I think there's something much deeper. The huge benefit, and New Heights showed this so clearly, is the authenticity and intimacy it fosters.
Right.
Seeing Taylor Swift in that relaxed conversational setting, interacting genuinely with the Kelce brothers, it gave fans a level of connection, a glimpse into her personality that you just don't get in those formal interviews.
Yeah, it felt very real, less managed.
Exactly. And that visual dimension, it's absolutely critical for building a brand and fostering a much deeper bond with your audience. It turns the listening experience from just a broadcast
Into something more like a shared conversation.
Yeah. It makes a listener feel like they're sort of in the room with you. Plus, let's be honest, a lot of creators are already recording with video anyway, right? For clips, for backup.
True. So publishing it isn't a huge extra step.
Often it's a pretty natural extension of their existing workflow.
Yeah.
It's about maximizing what you get out of one recording session.
Which brings us to a really interesting point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing for a global phenomenon like Taylor Swift to break the internet. obviously.
Right. That's kind of its own category.
But does this whole video-first viral moment trend
Mm-hmm.
actually apply to, everyday creators?
Yeah.
Can regular deep dive producers really tap into that same energy? Or is it just a celebrity game?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The question of scale and accessibility.
Yeah.
And while, yeah, Swift's team was incredibly skillful
Masterful, really.
in how they orchestrated demand, spreading short clips everywhere, Instagram, TikTok, X, what was it, 350 million views on Instagram highlights alone?
Insane numbers.
But here's the thing. That strategy is highly replicable for any creator, really, regardless of their current audience size.
Okay, how so?
It's this trend of creating micro content from your longer deep dives that's absolutely huge for 2025. These shorter, bite-sized clips, specifically made for social media.
Like Reels, TikToks, Shorts.
Exactly. They aren't necessarily designed to make someone immediately drop everything and listen to your full hour-long deep dive right then and there.
Okay, so what are they for then?
Their main job is to reinforce your brand identity, to significantly expand your reach to new people who might never find your main show otherwise, and just build that brand recognition over time.
Ah, so it's more about brand awareness.
Totally. Think about those Facebook Reels you see with podcast snippets. You might watch it, maybe even share it.
But not necessarily click through to the full episode.
Yeah.
I do that.
Right. But you're still engaging with that creator's brand, their message. It keeps them top of mind. This consistent micro-content presence keeps your brand alive and visible across all these different places people hang out online.
So these little clips aren't just throwaway views. They're actually building something bigger, more long-term than just immediate download numbers.
It's absolutely a strategic long play.
Interesting. So what are some of those, hidden or maybe indirect benefits that everyday creators should be thinking about with this micro-content approach?
Well, from a broader strategic view, these clips are really key for cultivating diverse revenue streams that go way beyond just traditional ads.
Okay, like what?
Even if someone doesn't click right from a reel to your deep dive, that increased brand awareness, that can lead to more opportunities for speaking gigs, maybe better brand partnerships,
Ah,
and potentially, most powerfully, it can generate qualified leads for your own business or products, if you have them.
right. Using the deep dive as a lead magnet, essentially.
Exactly. We're seeing a huge shift towards that, leveraging your deep dive as a sophisticated lead generation tool. Lots of creators are even focusing more on solo episodes sometimes,
Why solo?
because it lets them really dive deep into a topic, and firmly establish themselves as the go-to expert in their niche. That builds undeniable connection and authority, which then opens up all sorts of other business opportunities.
Like workshops or consulting?
Totally. Imagine someone with a deep dive on sustainable gardening. Their micro content could lead to workshops, consulting, maybe even selling their own branded seeds or tools directly.
And there are platforms making that easier now, right?
Oh, yeah. Platforms like Fourthwall, for example, they make it incredibly easy for creators to build a branded online storefront, sell custom merch, offer tiered memberships.
Because you're turning the deep dive into a whole brand ecosystem.
Pretty much. A robust, multifaceted brand with diverse income streams. And this also connects to that growing trend of micro deep dives.
Episodes under 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. They cater to those dwindling attention spans. They can actually double your download numbers sometimes because they're so easy to consume. And they offer different kinds of rapid-fire monetization chances.
Okay, now let's unpack the flip side a bit. Because there is pushback on this video explosion, right?
Oh, for sure.
Some people in the industry, especially maybe more traditional independent audio producers, they worry about YouTube getting too dominant.
That's a definite concern.
And some have even called visualized deep dives crap telly,
Yep, heard that one.
arguing pretty pointedly, why watch a deep dive recording when my TV watch list is already overflowing? What's your take on that critique? Is it fair, or is it missing the point?
Well, it's interesting because the core of that crap telly critique, it often targets the visual quality, specifically of interview or chat style deep dives,
Right.
especially those where the visuals might literally be, like someone said, a camera squeezed into a sound booth, or worse, a crummy Zoom recording.
Yeah, we've all seen those.
Or think about The Rest is Politics. A YouTube exec apparently described its look as feeling like a high school production. Because, they're often on a split screen, different locations.
It's not exactly cinematic.
Not at all. However, and this is the crucial part, I think, when we look at the bigger picture, the audience increasingly seems to prioritize authenticity, that genuine human connection. often over pristine cinematic perfection.
Interesting. So slickness can actually be a negative.
Sometimes, yeah, too much polish can actually hinder that feeling of humanness. People seem to crave real, unvarnished engagement. They want to see the real you, even if you're just in a sweatshirt at home. The big shift isn't towards making Hollywood-level productions. It's more towards this raw, unfiltered authenticity. A belief that the human touch, the genuine interaction, that's what really resonates, and it stops the content feeling, overproduced or fake.
So it's less about competing with HBO.
And more about just sharing a real moment with your community.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not about trying to outproduce Netflix. It's about what kind of visual value you genuinely bring. Is there a sweet spot then? A way to make visuals impactful without being crap telly or, conversely, overdoing it?
Absolutely. And I think it boils down to intentionality. Purpose.
Right.
For some deep dives, like Down the Calf was mentioned, the visuals are totally integral, right? You need to see the historic cafe, the food, the whole vibe, the dynamic between the hosts.
It wouldn't work as audio only.
Not nearly as well. The video isn't just enhancing, it's essential.
Right.
For other shows, maybe it's just about giving an authentic peek into the conversation, or offering crucial accessibility through closed captions, or simply creating another way to get found in search results.
So you have to ask why you're doing video.
Exactly. The critical thinking for any creator has to be, does this video genuinely enhance the experience for my listener? Does it deepen their engagement or understanding? Or is it just there? Maybe even distracting from the core audio.
Right. Be strategic.
Be strategic, be purposeful, make sure the visuals serve your listener and your goals, not just because everyone else is doing it. The aim should always be to create exceptional work, whether that's mostly audio or truly enriched by visuals.
Makes sense. So, okay, we've hit video, authenticity. Looking ahead to 2025, what else is really bubbling up? AI seems to be everywhere.
Oh yeah, AI.
And everyone wants to make their deep dives sustainable, make some money. How are these big trends converging?
Well, what's really fascinating is how AI will continue to revolutionize parts of deep dive production. No doubt about it.
Like editing?
Editing, absolutely. Software like Descript, where you edit audio just by editing the text transcript. That's a game changer for speed and accessibility.
Right.
And you see hosting platforms like Captivate FM, Buzzsprout, integrating AI tools to help streamline things. The impact is undeniable, but
There's always a but.
there's always a but. The spread of AI, it actually demands an even greater focus on the human element.
How so?
Well, AI tools can chop up a long episode into microclips really fast, but often they do it without real context, right? Starting mid-sentence.
Yeah, I've seen some weird AI clips.
Me too. I've played around with tools like Opus Clips, and sure, they generate tons of clips, but honestly, more than half often miss the narrative setup or the emotional buildup that a human would instinctively know makes a clip compelling.
Right. The AI doesn't get the story arc.
Exactly. That human touch is absolutely crucial to make sure your message actually lands properly, that the content is genuinely interesting and resonant to a person, not just hitting keywords for an algorithm.
So use AI as an assistant, not the director.
Precisely. Leverage it as a powerful assistant, yeah. But not as a replacement for your creative judgment, your strategic curation, or, the unique insights only a human storyteller brings.
Okay. And then, speaking of making these deep dives sustainable, the money side, it sounds like monetization is really evolving beyond just sticking in ad reads.
Oh, massively. If we connect this to the bigger picture, 2025 is really poised for a huge focus on diverse monetization.
Beyond just ads.
Way beyond just ads. We're talking more sophisticated brand partnerships, direct sponsorships that feel genuinely integrated.
Less jarring.
Hopefully. And like we touched on, leveraging your own businesses to sponsor episodes, promote your own digital products, affiliate sales. There's a big move away from that generic, everyone advertises Squarespace kind of feel.
Which listeners probably tune out anyway.
Increasingly, yes. Listeners are savvy. They get tired of hearing the same irrelevant ads. So integrating your own stuff or highlighting brands that are genuinely relevant to your audience, that fosters a much more authentic human connection.
Like the knitting deep dive selling their own yarn.
Exactly. Or the business deep dive offering a private membership for really qualified leads. And again, platforms like Fourthwall are empowering this, making it super easy to build that branded page, sell merch, offer memberships, exclusive content tiers.
Turning the deep dive into a real business hub.
That's the idea. A thriving brand ecosystem with multiple connected revenue streams. And don't forget those micro deep dives we mentioned.
For short ones.
Yeah, under 5 minutes, they hit those shorter attention spans, can boost download numbers significantly for less effort, and open up even more diverse monetization routes just through sheer volume and targeted content.
Wow. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground today. It feels pretty clear that video, it's not really optional anymore, at least for discoverability and deeper engagement.
Seems that way, yeah.
And these huge celebrity moments, they're setting massive new benchmarks for viewership, but also authenticity's really winning out over slick perfection for the audience.
That human touch is key.
Definitely. And AI is becoming this indispensable tool, but you absolutely need that critical, insightful humans steering the ship.
Couldn't have said it better.
Plus, you've got all these new ways to actually make money and even shorter formats popping up. It really is an exciting but maybe slightly chaotic time in the deep dive world.
Exhilarating and rapidly evolving, for sure.
So it feels like a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, which brings us maybe to the most important question, a question for you, our listener. Amidst all these trends, all this tech, the most powerful thing, it never really goes out of style.
And what's that?
Being fundamentally listener-centric, no new platform, no fancy AI trick is going to matter as much as having a deep dive that is truly aligned with your passion or your business and genuinely serves your community, solving their problems, educating them, entertaining them. So the core challenge for any creator, whether you're huge or just starting out, is really this. How will you strategically blend these new tools, these formats, these monetization models to best serve your specific audience? How will you consistently give them authentic, valuable content that truly resonates and makes them feel like they're part of something real?
That unwavering focus on the listener.
Above everything else, that remains the ultimate key to lasting success.